Task 3. Do you like these different things to read? Picture 1. Reading a cookbook. Candidate 1. I think of reading a cookbook is a relaxing activity while you bake. It gives you the recipe and you can also make it by yourself, which is so much better than pre-cooked foods. I prefer homemade food, so it's the go-to book that I always want to get at the bookshop. Candidate 2. I think of reading a cookbook is a pretty overwhelming activity because there are so many things to remember and so many ingredients as well. Most recipes take up to 3 to 5 hours. I don't have much time to do it. And also, I already have a takeout. So, I don't think it's a really important task nowadays to make home-cooked foods. And plus, I have trouble cooking foods, especially turning on the oven or measuring the exact measurements of foods like ounces, grams, pounds and everything, half scoop, half a cup, 1 cup. It's just really stressful for me. So I prefer to order food online. Picture 2. Reading a map. Candidate 1. I think of reading a map as not really a very relaxing activity. It can be relaxing sometimes if you're willing to do that. But otherwise, I think it's a really complicated thing to read, especially if you want to map out the metros or road. But I think it's a crucial skill to learn how to read maps, like when you're traveling and you need and your battery on your devices run out and you only have your map. If you can't read it, you can't understand it and probably will be lost. If you can read it, there's a chance that you can get yourself out of that mess and go to the destination that you're supposed to go. Candidate 2. I think of reading maps is a really overwhelming task. I hate reading, especially when I need to map out the metros, malls, shops, roads, streets, suburbs. It's just really overwhelming. And it's so much to remember. I'll just bring a portable charger if my phone runs out of battery. And I just don't have the need to bring a super heavy and big map wherever I go. It's hard to want to read it. There's so many things, so many dots, so many lines, so many roads, so many things to remember. So it's not my go-to thing to read on a daily basis. Picture 3. Reading an ebook. Candidate 1. I think reading an ebook is a pretty relaxing activity because you don't need to go outside to buy that book, and some ebooks even read to you. So it's like you're hearing a book telling you its stories. It's so relaxing, less stressful. You don't need to flip any pages, and I think it's the perfect activity when you're tired or stressed out from school or work. Candidate 2. I think of reading an ebook is a pretty lazy activity. Why should you read an ebook when you already have tons of book at the bookshop or you can just pick it up? And plus, most app that has an ebook probably requires, payment and money. So it's not the go-to thing for me if I'm really wanting to read a book. It's lazy and you can get sick of reading actual books in no time. Picture 4. Reading a magazine. I think of reading a magazine is the perfect thing to do if you're wanting to catch up on trends, the new fashion stuff, jewelry, advertisement about the things like about what you need if you have a pet, what you need if you're a student, what you need if you want to make your device look more pretty, the apps that you need. It's the perfect thing to catch up on what everybody's doing. One of my favorite things to do ever is just reading a magazine. It helps me relax, catch up on trends, new fashion trends, so I don't get lost with the trends, especially with today's rising economy. Plus, a rising economy equals rising trends and fashions. Candidate 2. I think reading a magazine is a thing that is time wasting. I don't need to catch on the newest trends. I think it's a little bit foolish to do that. And I don't have, the personality to want to read a magazine, and I don't need to learn how to do everything, how to have the perfect everything. It's fun to make mistakes, and plus, I just need to know what today's economy is doing. So maybe there's a different activity that I can do for my district, or I can do for the community. Not just reading a magazine about new trends and fashions. Picture 5, the last picture. Reading a newspaper. Candidate 1. I think of reading a newspaper is the perfect thing to do if you want to catch up on the latest news, what's happening around the world, international things, contact, the newest sports, events, everything that's happening around the world. It's like the entire internet in one single huge 5-page book. Kind of like that, but it's so much more interesting. And also, if you want to hear about cases, if you're lucky, you might just run into a super thrilling case about criminals. Ooh, I love that. And shocking things that scientists just found, or they just discovered, people discovering new stuff. It's the best thing to do in your free time after the magazine. And the cookbook, of course. Candidate 2. I think of reading the newspaper is a normal thing to do, especially if you want to know what's up with the world. What are new events that you might want to pay a visit to? But I don't have the urge to know everything, like what's happening in every single country. So, not really my go-to book. And I just don't need to know about stuff that people have discovered. All I want to know is what is the new learning method, or just what is up with the world, what is new with celebrities and everything. Just not really the need for me. So I guess newspaper is just not the thing for me.